All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. George Orwell, Animal Farm. This quote haunted me the first time I read it. Not just because of what it says about society, but because I most definitely didn't expect it to apply to my daily life. I noticed a pattern. Perhaps you did too. When a student fails to write an essay, people are quick to defend them. Oh, he just has a technical mind, or he's more of a numbers person. But when someone struggles with an equation, no one says that he's just a humanitarian. No. Instead, they're labeled lazy, or worse, is not smart enough. Overall reaction is different, not supportive, often dismissive, sometimes even mocking. In my life, I've heard these comments more times than I can count. And it made me wonder, why is one type of intelligence accepted and the other is questioned? Why is one seen as a strength and other as a disadvantage? What is the reason for this injustice? You see, there's a strange hierarchy in how we treat different kinds of intelligence. For example, how often do you hear that careers in the humanities are among the top jobs influencing and shaping the world? Probably not even half as frequently as those related to technical fields. And why is that? In a world that actively prioritizes STEM, humanities are often dismissed as irrelevant or even secondary. It's because many assume that the future is influenced solely by those who build and optimize the systems we rely on. But let's look a bit deeper. What shapes the future, really? Technology may build it, giving us visual results. However, it's the humanitarian fields that give it actual purpose. When we reduce the future to science and technology alone, we risk creating a world that is efficient but soulless, advanced but ethically and morally blind. Without the humanities perspective, progress quickly loses direction. So, what if being a humanitarian isn't a weakness after all? Let's think about this. Even the most sophisticated advancements in medicine rely not only on scientific breakthroughs, but also on psychology and ethics to truly be able to help a large number of people. Studies on the placebo effect show that patients' mindset and emotions can significantly impact their recovery, proving that medicine is not only about treating the body itself, but also about understanding the mind and providing the necessary emotional support. Without this ethical and psychological approach, medicine risks reducing patients to mere cases rather than individuals with their own fears and needs. Besides, history has already shown us the dangers of so-called medical progress without ethics. For example, the experiments of Nazi doctors that led to the creation of Nuremberg Code. Without humanities such as ethics, philosophy, history, and psychology, we risk repeating these mistakes, sacrificing human life in the name of progress. Meanwhile, IT specialists may develop algorithms, but without any ethical guidance, AI can end up reinforcing biases, invading privacy, or even making dangerous, life-altering decisions without accountability. Actually, we have already seen real-world consequences. Hiring algorithms have discriminated against women by prioritizing male candidates due to historical biases in workforce data. So AI doesn't just reflect the world we built, it amplifies our biases. And without any human supervision from psychologists, sociologists, and philosophers, we have absolutely no way to correct them. Or let's consider architecture. Designing buildings isn't just about materials and calculations. It's about understanding the way people interact with spaces, their cultural significance, and their impact on different communities. For example, Protego housing complex in St. Louis was a technical success, but a human disaster. Designed without social factors in mind, it quickly deteriorated into crime and neglect, ultimately being demolished. In contrast, let's see what happens when architects take social factors into account. In Scandinavian cities like Copenhagen, architects use a human-centered design approach, prioritizing psychological well-being and social interaction among the people, making these cities some of the most livable in the whole world. These examples clearly prove that architecture is much more than just physics and numbers. It's deeply connected to culture and psychology. Do you want a fun fact? Even the most celebrated STEM pioneers have relied on the humanitarian fields. For example, Albert Einstein famously credited his philosophical readings for shaping his scientific perspective. And Steve Jobs often emphasized the importance of art in Apple's innovations. So yes, numbers, codes, and formulas are powerful. They help us solve problems, build systems, and move forward. But there's one thing they can't do: inspire. A song can, a story can. These are the sparks that awaken something inside us. And I get that. Personally, I've always found my greatest inspiration not in numbers or formulas, but in music or in books that made me look at the world differently. So yes, the subtle changes humanities bring to the world might not seem as huge, immediate, or measurable as the changes brought by technical fields. But just because something is harder to quantify doesn't mean it's less essential. And nor does it mean that someone contributes less to the progress than the other. From the philosophers who shaped democracy to psychologists behind AI ethics, humanitarians have always been at the very heart of progress. Thank you.